Hi everybody. This video I will talk about how to select a cage and how to bird-proof your home before you bring home your new bird. As far as cages are concerned, a lot of cages have vertical bars going up and down. I recommend at least two sides of the cage having horizontal bars like this type, because vertical bars are very hard to climb for birds. They slide down, there's not enough grip. So the horizontal bars are the most sought after. So the cage has to be big enough for the bird to be comfortable in. Many people make the mistake of buying too small a cage. So the rule of thumb is, if you have one bird, have a cage this size. This size cage will house two birds actually. It's 22 inches tall, 11 inches deep, by 16 inches wide. I have two cages. They're both the same, except in color. I like this type of cage because it has the horizontal bars for them to climb up. The bars for parakeets needs to be closer together. So make sure you buy a cage that's for parakeets, not for conures, not for parrots, because they have a wider space. The reason why is for safety. The wider slots, these parakeets can put their heads through and they can get stuck, and that's not a good thing. A friend of mine, she had a parakeet that was in a cage not for parakeets, for a bigger bird, and the bird's head went through those bars and got caught and suffocated. So we don't want that. So as far as cage size concerned, as much as your budget can allow, the bigger the cage, the better. Especially if they don't get to go out too often, they need to have room to stretch their wings and exercise. That's very important for the health. So I have mango on the left and blueberry on the right. So as far as cage is concerned, you need to have different size perches. So I have a wooden perch here. I have a perch that's a little crooked, and it has one part sand, on top is smooth. There's a type of perch where it has sand all around, which I don't recommend because it gets irritated underneath their foot. But the sand part only hits their toenails, so that keeps their toenails trim a little longer. That's very important for the bird. So I have this type of perch, the green one over here. There's a little bent in different shape, and also this one, a wooden perch, and this wooden perch down here has different diameters. You see, it gets thin and it gets thick and it gets thin again. So different size perches, different diameter, different textures, and I have one over here that's plastic. So this way they get different grips of diameter perches and exercise their muscles instead of having them stand on the same surface, same diameter. So just like us humans, we need different things to keep our feet healthy. So of course, give them plenty of food, dishes, always available to them, clean water daily. For me, I personally, I'm just picky, I boil all my water. I let it cool down and my birds get boiled, clean water that's cooled off. And I never let them drink from unfiltered tap water. That's just me. So there's toys. I'm going to make another different video about toys, how the importance of toys and how to select toys. As far as the environment is concerned, having a new bird is almost like having a new baby. You have to make sure that it's bird-proof. A lot of things are poisonous and dangerous to birds. Plants, for example, there's a whole list of plants that are no-nos. So if you can, clear your home or the room that your bird is going to be in free of live plants, unless they're not the poisonous type. And on the internet, you can look it up. There's a whole set of plants that are not good for them, and some plants are safe. But if you can, just avoid any kind of accident. Remove all live plants. unless they're the non-poisonous type. And as far as safety, make sure everything is not sharp. That goes to the cage. You buy a new cage, make sure you run your hand all over. There's no sharp edges, nothing that could harm the bird, just like nothing can harm your baby. It's the same concept. No sharp edges in toys, cage, furniture. Recommend round corners, just like children. Okay? Round corners. Nothing sharp. You have toys like I do. Toys galore. Check very often for broken pieces. Broken, toss it out. Because especially like this one, I had my first bird many years ago. She had bitten off one of these pieces. Plastic gets very hard and sharp when it gets old. It pierced her chest and she died from bleeding. Actually, her wound was healed over and clotted over, but she started to pick it and started to bleed again, and that's how I lost my bird. So for many years, I didn't have any toys for my birds, which is not right. You need to have stimulation. But in the same token, you have to check daily. Maybe sometimes I check several times a day. Make sure that there are no broken toys, no sharp edges. Keep everything safe for the bird. So, same thing with the rope perches. Make sure they're not frayed. Their toes cannot get caught in it. So create a safe environment. So no sharp edges, no things that they can get caught in, like their heads. With my playset, I custom made this playset myself. I made sure all the spacing of the steps are wide enough for them to get through and not get stuck, but yet close enough for them to easily go up the stairs. So everything is very meticulously calculated in my environment. Same thing with this playset. I custom made this playset myself, designed the playset so they can go in and out without getting caught. Make sure they have different variety of perches to stand on, different diameters, different thickness, different materials, so they could be playing in an environment that's safe. So your bird should be playing with safe toys. And the toys that I have here is actually for babies and toddlers. If it's safe enough for human babies, it's safe enough for your birds. So a lot of people like to make homemade toys too. Be aware that sometimes those like food coloring, depends on what it is, can be toxic to birds, because this type of bird, they like to chew. They chew on everything. And this bird toy here is a wooden bird toy. They love to play, but they also love to chew. But this is purchased from the bird shop, and it's made from coloring that's safe for birds. As you can see, it's bitten. And if you make bird toys yourself, make sure the wood is not sprayed with toxic things. There's a lot of woods that you buy from Home Depot. They have been sprayed with pesticide or insecticide, so the insects cannot drill holes through the wood. But we don't want that for our birds, because that could be deadly and toxic. So we'll make a segment about bird toys and how to keep them safe. So I guess you understand what I'm trying to say. Make a safe environment for your bird. That's very, very important. Thank you for tuning in, and my next video would be picking out toys.